You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the April 17th meeting for the Michigan City Commission for Women. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you all for attending the Michigan City Commission for Women, April 17th, 2025 monthly meeting. I'm going to, in the beginning of this meeting, I'm going to go ahead and do the roll call. So, Keisha. Here. Miss Allen, Tiny Allen is, so you all would know, Miss Tiny Allen is filling in as a temporary appointee for the Michigan City Commission for Women until she replaces, or they have a replacement from Michigan City.
Director for Minority Health Partners.
Can you speak up a little louder?
When we get a director for the Minority Health Partners, and that person will take this place.
Okay. Thank you. Nyla Williams.
Present.
Jacqueline Jones, present. Linda Conley.
Present.
Sarah Jones, absent. Kiana Edwards, absent. Daisy Lee.
Present.
And Angela Carter is absent. Okay. Today we have a guest speaker, and her name, everyone knows her. She's very involved in the community. Appreciate everything that she does to get the community involved with art. So her name is Janet Block, and she is the director of Lebizniak Art Center, and she is here to present and also a request. So present to some and introduce to some others, Janet Block, Lebizniak, and you are welcome to sit at the table with us.
Oh, that would be great. Thank you. I feel comfort. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll sit with you. You're good. Yeah, thank you so much. And actually, I don't really know some of these people here, at least not nearly as well as I know you. So it's a pleasure to get to know everybody.
Would you like us to go around the table again and introduce ourselves?
No, I got it.
Okay.
I know. I mean, I knew what your name was, but I don't think we've really had a chance to talk. So nice to meet you. And I am here to actually present a request for some sponsorship, if I may, and it's for an exhibit that we're having this summer at Lebizniak Center for the Arts called Women to the Front. As it indicates the name, it's about making space for women's voices, which we often do. But this is actually, the plans are in the works. We are bringing part of a collection to the Art Center from Cincinnati. And it's a collection that's been built by two women over the last 40 years, since the 80s. And it really contains the voices of both historic artists, some quite famous, like Yoko Ono, I'm sure is a name that you guys have heard. Ana Mendieta was a very well-known artist who was Cuban-American. She passed away quite a while ago, but these are, some of the names on this are going to be very known to art world people and historians and so forth. And it's mixed with contemporary voices. Some people that you might have heard of is like Faith Ringgold, because she did a series. She just passed away, but there was a big show of hers at the Museum of Contemporary Art, and she's written many children's books. But it focuses on voices that are not heard in the mainstream. So there's many women of color, all colors, different ages, and like I said, some are of historic significance, and some are more contemporary. So what we do all the time, I think some of you know, but you can look at some of the imagery of pieces that we know will be in the show. The title "Women" or "Girls, Women to the Front" comes from sort of the punk music community, where there was a band that used to tell when they would perform, they would say "girls to the front," meaning the guys who were normally the punk music bands had to recede back in the room and give space to women. So, but I think even without knowing that, you kind of understand that we're trying to put women to the forefront. So I think in this particular time, it's a very significant exhibit to be heard because it will have many voices from different cultural backgrounds, and that includes the LGBTQ community, lots of Black women voices, but also Hispanic, Asian, Arab, and so forth. So we are a center that I think most of you know. We're free admission 6 days a week. We're closed on Tuesdays. We do a number of community events. And so there's different levels of sponsorship that you would consider. And they include, a variety of things. And I know that you do have a limit that you put in your guidelines. So I am aware of that. And I will just say that I was lucky enough before that was written to be able to get a little bit more for the sponsorship 5 years ago. We also did a different type of women's show. It was all contemporary, and it was to celebrate the passing of the 19th Amendment, the ratification of the 19th Amendment, which gave women the right to vote. It's the 100-year anniversary. So I just want to say that some of the things that I do think the commission might be interested in, only because I've been asked before, is that, with higher levels of sponsorship, should you consider, we'll do private exhibit tour with our curator with wine and hors d'oeuvres, art festival tickets, bigger, like our banner on our building is massive, and that goes to the highest level of sponsorship. We have to kind of break these down. But really, or whatever it is the commission wants, because when we do a sponsorship, and I don't mean whatever, but let's say you wanted to do, like we have given our space for free for a luncheon, we do things like that because we want to not just have a generic sponsorship option, but it is to appeal to the needs and what you're planning for your year. So those are the components, and I'm happy to answer questions. If you go, towards the back right before the thank you page, it does sort of break down the levels. So you just have to, we have to make those kinds of, because you raise money too, I'm sure. It's like we have to differentiate between the levels. But, we're kind of hoping. We thought that you'd be a great match. When I looked to see who was on the commission at this time, I will tell you that I hadn't been familiar, but when I started looking, I think in January, I was very excited to see that it is a much more diverse representation here as well.
Thank you.
I think it's great. I think everybody could be a leader. If there's something that we're not considering, again, that you think would be an important thing you would like to show, we'd be happy to consider that. So I don't know if you, need to take time or if you've seen this. I know you've seen it already, but I don't know if the rest of the group has seen the proposal before.
Oh, I didn't look at the proposal.
Oh, okay.
No. Did you bring?
This is it.
Oh,
yeah. This is the proposal. So the back has the different sponsorship options. Okay. So there it goes up to 5. I mean, obviously, to go up to 10, we have to bring all the work from Cincinnati. and and do all these things. But you can kind of see. We'd be thrilled to get any level at all if you have funds for it, and if you want to take your time and consider and email me or however you want to.
So it's the Premier is 4 levels: Premier, Gold, Silver, and Bronze. Premier is 5,000.
Yes.
Gold is 2,500. Silver is 1,000, and Bronze is 500.
Yes.
So with the check marks, that includes everything. The check marks is everything that's included in that.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, like, if you look to some of the like this the outdoor banner, I think it says it's 396 inches wide by 66 high. This hangs on our building.
Okay.
So Women's Commission would be out front, We do expect very high attendance for this exhibit. It was shown at the Cincinnati Art Museum, and because of the artists who are included in this, it's got a lot of, yes. Exactly. So,
and it's I'm sorry. The tickets are included in the spot, whatever we.
Yes. Okay. Like if you wanted, But what I want to point out too is if you said, listen, we have to. I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot. But if you said we can't go higher than 1,000, but we would like to do it. But we don't really care about ABC, but we'd all really like to get tickets to this, or we really want that curator tour. I'm going to work with you because we really want to be partners in the community. That's why I was saying you could decide about that. I get that, you have other things to consider and other whatever your agenda is for the year. So,
okay. Online, it was a request form, like a submit some type.
I did do that. I did send that, and I also
okay,
and I also emailed this to that email address 3 times.
Okay,
so, starting in January.
About the Michigan City one.
Yeah, and then I think you did let me know that it hadn't been activated. So I think I attached it to your. No, I don't know that you could open it, but. I'm happy to.
Did you attach it to
your email too?
Oh, to my email? Okay, I'll go with it. I didn't know you attached it to my email. It's okay.
Yeah, I sent it a bunch of times.
Okay.
That's why I came with printed materials this time.
I appreciate
that. No,
I
understand because we all got a lot of stuff and it's easy to overlook. So
and that's why I was asking.
Sure, you can ask as many questions. Yeah.
No. I was just asking because, and I thank you for bringing.
Oh, this. Sure. No,
because yes, I didn't know that you attached it to my.
Yeah, email. I did, and and if you need me to resend the form, I also did do that form. I saw it, and so. And then I think I actually did that form twice. So
matter of fact,
sorry.
It's okay. I can bring it up.
Yes, but any questions that you have and these are just, these actually will be in the show. So this is boxing glove, by the way. It hangs. Yeah, it's cool. There's some boxing pieces. I do want to mention, because I don't want you to feel blindsided, there is going to be a part of the exhibition that will be in a secluded room that is going to be not appropriate for children because it will have women's expressions about how they feel about their bodies and abortion and many, about freedom to choose and things like that. And those are part of the exhibit. But they are not, they are literally going to be sequestered into a separate room with the curtains.
Will there be art exhibits of that and a conversation at the same time?
Yeah, well, we hope so. We just know that we solicit children into the galleries, so we never want to show anything that is not appropriate to discuss with kids or that should be discussed by families. But we don't feel we should prevent, because of the time we're in and that it's a women's exhibit, we don't want to prevent women from expressing, especially through the ages, of views on those subjects. So there's a room that you might be familiar with in our gallery. It's actually called the Susan Block Gallery, no relation to me. And it allows us, it's a separate room, and it allows us to hang a curtain. And actually, we have discussed the fact that there's so much interesting work to talk about, like with equal pay and equal rights and speech and so many other areas. But we don't want to prevent children from coming, but we're actually going to put, like, when we have field trips, somebody at the door as well. So there's no sneaking in, because we just don't want to risk that. But I do think, anyone who sponsors needs to know that that's a piece of the show.
Any other questions? Lisa, any other questions?
Yeah, this starts June 30th, right?
It starts June 30th. It goes all through the summer. The opening is on July 8th July 11th, because the 4th of July is the first Friday. We usually would have it then. And it goes all the way through, what is the date? Up till October 26th. Yeah. So, you also, I'm just saying, like, if you say we don't want the tour, but we want to have a luncheon, and your curator could talk for a few minutes about the show or something like that. If it's after Labor Day, we're good with something like that. We can't do luncheons in the summer because it's just too crazy wild in there. And like I said, I only bring that up because that's something in the past the commission has asked of Ludesnik, and we have done it. So, it's you can take your time. I mean, I'm not in a hurry. I just don't want to make you feel on the spot.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Too? And I'm glad that this is about women. But are there any women of color in this exhibit?
It's almost all women of color.
All women of color?
Is that all? But almost all. So, Shireen Nassat, Anna Mandiata. I have to tell you, I don't know what Michelin. But yes, if you look at our list, there are numerous Black women in the exhibit.
And necessarily Black women of color. I didn't necessarily mean Black people.
Yeah, no, it's all, like Shireen Nassat is an Arab woman. Anna Mandiata, as I mentioned, was Cuban. Yoko Ono obviously is Japanese. So it's their whole collection is really about, their collection, and then furthermore, our picks of their collection is about giving people space who usually don't have a voice. I mean, or I don't even want to say usually anymore because it's really changing, but traditionally have not had a voice in the art world, in traditional museums. It's very important for us. And honestly, I just want to say it's what we're doing at every exhibit right now. If you came into today, you would see an exhibit by a Black gentleman named Cecil McDonald upstairs. The whole exhibit is work by him, and he, so more and more every show that we have, we're very sensitive to it, and we make efforts. Really, more than efforts, we're like doing it. And thank you. I mean.
Any other questions? Well,
is there a deadline that you need to hear?
The only deadline, most of the things come out later. But the one thing that is the postcard is so all the vinyl, the banner that goes outside, all that can come later because but we do bulk mail the postcards. So we're looking at about 6 weeks prior to the exhibit, which doesn't give you a ton of time. All right. Mm-hmm. I think that and maybe a few ads have to also be placed earlier. The website, the vinyl that goes in the interior, those things can come, and actually any time, pretty much before we open, like a couple weeks before.
Okay. Any other questions? We appreciate you taking out your time to come and
I appreciate it.
present this evening. Also, we appreciate your involvement and dedication and commitment to the city of Michigan City in art. I always observe how you open up your venue, the Lebizniak Center, for different ministries, different churches, different youth groups, different organizations, and even teaching on art. So we really appreciate you for being a pillar in our community and just encouraging you to continue to go forth and keep going. So with this, I will share, because we do have to discuss it, and we will make certain that we get back with you on this. And I do have it. So
and list any questions that you have.
Okay.
I just want to say thank you. I think that I don't take credit for I guess I call it like community building. It was long overdue. And I'm grateful that to be welcomed into many communities that you actually didn't always even know about. So, like the New Hope, those
Great
were,
work.
thank you. Those have been my pleasure to also get to know. So,
And you all were involved in the mural, like for the Hope Center, and
both murals for the Hope Center and the mural at New Hope.
Smart Center.
Yes, in the Smart Center.
Okay.
And then we're hopefully going towards the east side this year. We're hoping to have some sort of public meetings very soon for the park district is putting up a new shed. And I have been in touch with Dominique Edwards, and we're talking, but we want to involve the whole community. We have money, our own money, ARPA money, to put towards the painting of the shed by an artist. And we also are looking to paint those retainer walls on Michigan Boulevard to beautify. So we will want the community participation, and hopefully I'll send something directly to you to share here, so that
We appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for
giving me some time. I left a couple extras, so if you want to share with other members.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Janet. Okay, and it's good to meet the rest of you.
Good night, everyone.
You too. Good night.
Thank you.
Okay, so she did send it to my email, and we have to, someone has to get the eMichigan City website. I think that what's taking place with that is they're doing some reconstruction. That was the last thing that I've heard, that they were doing some reconstruction with that. So, but this is what she sent. Her request is, and I'll have this, if I had known, I would have printed it out and given you all a copy, but I'll make sure, I guess I can either forward it to you all, or I can print some hard copies off for next meeting. But verbally, she is requesting $1,000 or more for the donation. I believe we can, in here, the handout that she gave us, one was 500, one was 1,000, one was 2,500, and one was 5,000.
Right.
And previously, when we all recommended or made motions or whatnot, sometimes we didn't stick with 500. Sometimes we went to 700, or we did 750, or we did 6 or whatnot. So we can
make a cap.
Did we make a cap? Was it 500? The cap was 500, or the cap was 750? I know the last one that we did was 750 for sponsor. I don't recall a cap.
I think we did.
Okay. I can look at the previous
I
one.
thought we had a cap.
I said it really depends on what it is, what they're asking, and we get from it. So every person is different, but I'm not sure if we had a cap. I know we discussed it, so maybe
Right.
that's something we need to revisit. If you have it, maybe email that to us, and also whatever she said.
Okay, because I do recall I was the one that recommended that we do have a cap, and I don't know if you all recall or the same ones maybe have some type of protocol or some type of procedure that we wouldn't duplicate. I don't know if you can recall that, and then everyone, I think majority has stated that really it wasn't necessary to put anything in writing at the moment, and because we had the opportunity to say if we were going to vote on it, recommend it or not. So it wasn't really anything put in writing for that. Because I remember I was the one that recommended it.
So if you took money from your budget, can you afford that?
Well, it depends. We are trying to build ours up, and that's one thing on the agenda, the fundraiser, to build it up. But again, she requested 1,000, but here it says $500, 1,000, 2,500, or 5,000. But at times we went above 500 before too. The last one I believe was 750, and I can't recall who that was.
Just different.
Right, because I believe you, right. So if someone wants to make a recommendation,
Without knowing what's in your budget.
in our budget,
I think it's 100,000.
it was around 13, but remember we took 2,000.
Oh, it's probably less.
So it's probably push come to shove, and I don't have that this evening, so I'm sorry. Push come to shove, the last was like 13,648, if I'm not mistaken. And so we had a budget for International Women's Day, and that was approved 2,000, I believe. Was it 2,000?
I think so.
So if we deduct that, we probably have a good over 11,000. We have over 11,000 in there.
So I pulled up the request for funding guidelines as of April 2023, and so the current funding limit is up to $1,000 for this commission.
Okay. We did have a conversation about it. We did have a conversation, but I don't believe we put anything in writing, because when I did recommend, I believe, Keisha, you have stated, we have the opportunity to vote,
We can decide.
we can decide, correct.
Either way, but just saying, no more than $1,000. That's what the document
Says right now.
Yeah, that's what it says now. It can always be changed.
Okay. Any recommendations? Or does anyone want to make a motion or recommend a certain amount? I would, I can say I would probably recommend maybe 750. The reason being is because, it's in between the 5 and the 1,000. Another thing, they do offer a lot to the community. They're very involved with the community, and I know it takes money out of their budget too, with all of the materials. And I don't even think it's a cost. It's just basically donations if someone wants to give a donation. But if for the groups, different groups, for the youth or whatnot, I believe everything is free, even materials. I mean, the crafts are very nice, and I'm not aware of anyone being turned down or anything. So I'm just saying it looks like it's gonna be a nice exhibition, and it may take a lot to put this on, especially the materials. So I'm gonna put a start amount at 750, and if anyone else want to discuss, we can discuss it.
So what is it? So we don't not really have a two treasurers report.
We have,
Because we haven't had any. What was our expenditures for sure from the
The experience, okay, so with that, I do have that.
I think the last treasurer's report was 13.40 days.
I can pull it up.
And
Yeah,
then
that's what I
took money out for the
Women's Day.
women's luncheon. So whatever that was, it would be less.
Yeah, I have the last report as same as you, Nyla. 13,448.63.
How much?
$13,448.63.
$13,000.
$448.63. That was the last report that we had. I mean, that patient that I have. And that's the same as what you have.
You give me one moment, I can,
And we didn't spend anything.
one moment, I can pull something up. I could pull an invoice up too. I know we paid, for the decorations, $200 for the decorations. And I'm gonna pull up the invoice for the meal,
The decorations and
the meal.
the food.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but when do we give monies to this last group?
What was the last?
But that was
Was that
that was taken before the
this
final.
one?
Yes.
Okay, I just wasn't sure. Okay.
When we still on 13.
What is it called? Oh, wait a minute, 1 second. I'm gonna try to pull up that invoice. We're gonna discuss that as well. I'm gonna pull up. Okay.
So in January, in the minutes, it was 13,648.63. That was January minutes.
What was it?
13,648.63.
So we got $200 from somewhere.
Okay, for Indiana Deli, it was $1,904.
Even?
Mm-hmm. So $2,104 we spent, and I believe our request was $2,500. I said $2,000. So I think our recommendation, we couldn't spend over $2,500. I think it was.
Yeah, I think I saw that in there. We had 2,500 in there.
Mm-hmm. So if we're looking at 13,448 from 2,104. We have $11,344.63 remaining in the budget. That's what we should have. And I'll confirm that and send that out to you all.
I'm sorry, what we should have what left?
We should have, okay, so with the $200 for the decorations, and then we had $1,904 for the invoice for Indiana Deli. So that totals $2,104. And our previous balance from the budget was $13,448.63. So if you take $2,104, you have $11,344.63 remaining in the budget. And I will confirm that amount. I'll send an email out and confirm that. We'll confirm and send an email out.
Yeah, because I see two different amounts, and I'm not sure.
Which amount? for the,
What was still in the balance, our treasure balance?
okay, I can pull that up once.
And $200 off. I'm not sure. Or 400.
Yeah, it's like it's 200 off.
Yeah.
One moment. Let me see.
And we're close within range, so
Mm-hmm.
is it something that we all want to do tonight? Is to vote on this tonight? Is there any other discussion about this?
Do you all want to place this in pending status until the next meeting, or?
I don't think it's an emergency. Really need to think about what you're going to do for the entire year. You still got a great amount of year to go.
Yes.
And you may have some college students coming asking for it. Like once before we did some students that went overseas for special things and they had stuff from the universities, and so you want to be able to just do something for other people too. So it needs to be talked about a little bit.
So we want to table this until next meeting?
And then give us opportunity to see exactly what's in the treasure.
And then we discuss this. I mean, I asked you a question. And so, and I asked women of color, I didn't say black women, I said women of color, because the women of color who we should be talking about at this point. And we need to really decide, is this something that's going to be beneficial to the Michigan City public? Do we have that much interest? Because they're not showing the activities of the people that live within the city that are very good artists. That's my understanding, or that's my belief. You know, you can bring somebody from New York if you want to, but are they going to relate to the people that live here? We had a display over at the Hope program that went through that during just before Kwanzaa last year, I believe it was, and they were not allowed to display their art at the Lebesnick Art Center, and I didn't understand that. And that was
The local people?
That was beautiful art that was there, yeah.
These are the local?
And then when we were attending those meetings, at the whole program about the mural, and I was in favor of getting the students from the high school to do that mural. And I don't think that we're tapping into the talent that's here.
So who did do the mural?
It was basically done by somebody that was paid to do that. They say the kids participated, that's fine. But what kids participated? I don't think that you can find a better art student or somebody to do art than those students at our own schools here in the city. Those kids can take a can of paint and paint before you can bat your eye. You know they can do a mural. So why are we not utilizing what we have here, but we're always going out of the city to bring somebody here when we're bypassing the youth here in the city? That's just my concern. That's a good point. Yeah.
Anybody else have a comment?
No, I think Mrs. Allen has a very good point there. Only name on here that I really recognize was Yoko Ono. And I don't know if these are the people that's going to be exhibiting, their exhibits going to be up there.
You mentioned three names, but the only one I was familiar with was for the Ono person.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Yes, but it's the moms on that second page.
Yeah, there's
Quite a few names, but again, they're not local.
And sometimes we bring people from across the water or wherever. If we have people right here in Michigan City, we need to honor them. Maybe we would get more participation in other things if we brought them to the forefront. And I don't see anything wrong with this. It's just that sometimes we always bypass Michigan City.
That's what we should. recognize
Always
them.
bypass.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. So I did. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Daisy.
My understanding is that there are exhibits that have local artists there. I haven't been there in a little while, but that's my understanding. So, but what I gathered from this is it's like a kind of like a trunk, like a traveling exhibit. And so, like it was in the Cincinnati Museum before, and then now it's here. So it's like it'd be cool if we could add. We could ask if we could add any of our local artists as like a showcase in this, perhaps.
To appeal to the local people. I doubt if they would change up what they already have laid out because we asked them. They will pull in. But I mean, it's a good point. Like she said, if this is something that's already built and they're just moving it from city to city. So
This, I think,
this
is
would
what
be,
the traveling thing is.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
yeah, I think so.
And it's already
based on how I
committed
read
to
it.
come here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, we can. We do have handouts, and we can.
Daisy's right, there are some local exhibits, local people that's in there.
So how can we appeal to the local people to participate in something like this?
Well,
This is established, and it's a
traveling show.
Well, it shouldn't really be just up to us to appeal. If they're seeking to do more in the community, then they should.
Well, I mean them,
Okay.
because this is their domain.
Well, I will give them credit. They do a lot of things for the, especially with the children. They do have a lot of stuff, and a lot of it
Good
is
summer arts program.
and it's a lot of it's free that they have. And I think when they have their first Fridays, there's a lot of little, I think, local things and free stuff down there. But I haven't been there in a while. But I know they do. We call it the summer arts program. They have a lot. I think they do a lot for the kids.
we can. If it's okay with everyone, we can table it. How about if we view the handout? Also, Daisy, didn't you state that maybe, or recommend, maybe we can even ask her if it's local artists or see what's going on with that, so we can ask Janet, and I can bring back
So
the information or email you.
Summer arts fair they have. They do have local. Tons of local people at that.
But your question is if they're going to have local artists in this exhibition.
She said people of color would be in there. She named 4.
But you're saying local artists, though, right? Okay. So we can table this and just
But this
ask
is
her.
the point that this is like kind of like that Vietnam moving wall that they have. It goes from city to city. And so these are probably people already in place for their work that they just.
I'm not saying that we shouldn't contribute. I'm just saying that we need to be cognizant of spending too much money
I
and
understand.
spend it on our own
Local.
artists here in the city. Doesn't necessarily have to be people of color, but the people that live here within the city.
All right. So again, I'm going to make the recommendation if someone want a second, or if any other recommendations want to go forward, but that we table this, ask the question to Janet if it's going to be local artists at the exhibition or their pieces included, and for us to review the materials that was handed out, and then when we meet, whenever I find out some information, I can email you all Janet's answer. And
We may have other questions later. We just haven't had time to really
read
look
this.
this over. Let's think about it. And then, the funds too.
I had
We want
this
to
on.
contribute. We want to be a part of it. We need to just kind of let it soak in a minute. Right.
Okay.
Because school is going to, what is this? A lot of kids going to be going out to school, and some may be going to, like, the last time I was here, somebody went to Spain because they had graduating with 4 years of Spanish and had graduated top of their class. And so we wanted to help that person. Okay. So we don't want to spend too much money on other stuff before the kids get out of school. That's mine.
So How about the recommendation that we table this and
That's fine.
we discuss it at our next meeting?
Yeah.
Anyone want to second that or?
I said,
Okay, and I did pull up our minutes from February because our minutes from March was basically, our attendance was at the International Women's Day. So the minutes was actually that we're short to prove, that we were there, whatnot. Gail stated that's all we had to basically submit was that, the program, and I did. So I had to pull up February's balance, which was $13,648.63 before we deducted the amount of $200 and $1,904. So with that, it is a couple of hundreds that you said that you were off. Okay, so 13,600. Did you say that, Dyla? I'm sorry. 13,648.
63.
Okay.
That was after the 448, 13,448.
Okay. So we should have. We will have 11,000. It's $11,544.63. So it is
$200 come from?
because I thought someone had stated the amount $13,448.63.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's what it
Previously, and then this last time it was reported. I think let's just double check on that though.
Okay.
See what was there any deposit made and what that was, because I can't remember. Why is that a discrepancy of $200 some?
So you all would know that $13,648.63, that balance was approved in the minutes in February. Okay. So I just want you all to know we approved that in those minutes, February minutes. And that was, again, prior to us deducting the $2,104. Okay, so it would be $11,544.63. However, I will confirm that. I can send out an email and we can discuss it at the next meeting as well. Is that okay?
I have a question about the treasury report. Did her name Shar? Did she turn in all her stuff for the treasury?
Okay. Old business, the grant writing workshop is still going to take place, but we're just tabling it right now. We still have from the $2,500 that was recommended budget for the International Women's Day. We still have like maybe a couple of hundreds we can use towards that workshop if we recommend that and approve it for maybe some donuts or coffee or something like that during it. Just kind of wanted to get over, well, I'm not going to say get over, but allow the International Women's Day to kind of pass and before kind of putting this one together, the grant writing workshop. So just wanted to let you all know that it was kind of still in place a little bit and just need the confirmation from the facilitator. Okay. And more than likely, if everybody is in agreement, we can have it at Krieger Memorial Park if that day is available. Just wanted you.
grant writing workshop. The grant writing workshop?
Yes.
Are you at liberty to say who the facilitator is?
Well, no, because it's two, depending on the two and just waiting on confirmation.
When do you think we can get that? Because this has been in the makings for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be May, and then before you know it, we have other things that might be coming up. Also, Juneteenth, she said, it's going to be coming up, and then this program here, and people are going to be going away for summer, and kids getting out of school. So maybe we need to try to get a definite time, date, place
We can, but again, it's based on the facilitator's time, and especially if they're going to be donating their time.
That's what I mean. Maybe can we pin them down? Can they give us like, yes, I can do this on Saturday, August 1st. Or
I can ask them,
okay.
but I did ask for a month, maybe in May or something to gear. But again, they probably have obligations as well. So I'm not like it. What I'm saying,
we don't want to be pushy, but we need to know.
Right, or not in control. And then if you can recall, Miss Linda, the reason it's been pushed back again is for International Women's Day. And then the first time that it was scheduled with a previous facilitator, on their end, they weren't able to do it. So we had to reschedule. So that's what took place with that. But I can reach out and see if it can be a definite in the month of May or whatnot, because there is a lot of things taking place even prior to Juneteenth in May, and Nyla would be discussing that later, but this would be probably it's going to be some other things, the month of October.
We have that health fair coming up in June also, right?
What's coming up?
The health fair in June.
We have health fairs all the time, but they're not necessarily in June. What's coming up for the community is that I've been working on is the 120-year anniversary of Bethel AME Church. Okay. And then the other thing I'm working on is Dr. Lanson is wanting to do a health presentation on prostate. Yeah, prostate. So, that shouldn't interfere with this, but we have a lot of things coming up toward the end of our program year.
It's a lot of things coming up. June, October, August, November.
Is the breast cancer. I'm going to try to do it the last week of September and the first week of October. It's the breast cancer walk and the breast cancer event that we usually have at the ORAD.
And if you can, I'm going to ask if Nyla, Nyla, if she can present her
health conference I'm having October 4th.
October 4th? Is that on a
Saturday?
It's in the day.
All day.
Yeah, 8 to 5.
Where's that 4th?
Well, okay, because we're getting off of. I have to bring this back to order. I have to bring this back to order. But under the commissioner's comments, I'm going to ask Nyla to present some things, and then at that time, Ms. Allen can. But I need to just bring this back to order a little bit, okay? Okay, so and we can table the grant writing workshop, and I'm taking that under advisement, Ms. Linda, to try to reach out to those couple of facilitators to see if they can give us a date.
Okay. If they can't, can we have a backup? So if they, is pushing back and can't give us a date, as soon as
facilitator.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's look into some other people, and then we can try to get a date locked in. Like she said, it's a lot going on.
It is.
So we would all like to attend, but the sooner the better for all of our calendars.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
New business. And then we're coming to the point now of election of officers. We do have a quorum this evening, and just didn't want to continue to put that off. We do need a treasurer. We do need a secretary. And so you all would know, we're going to open up the slate for the officers. Sarah isn't here today, but Sarah has stated that she would be, secretary, and I can recommend her, or someone can recommend her for secretary. So at this time, I'm going to open it up for a slate of officers. We have currently the president as Jacqueline Jones. And at this time, I am going to, I'm putting my name on the slate as well, because I would like to retain my seat if possible. So I would like to be on the slate. We also have Vice President Linda Conley, and a vacancy of secretary is needed, a vacancy of treasurer. But however, is there anyone else that would like to be nominated or recommended for a recommendation for president at this time? We just need a name. Is that how
Put
you
your
do it?
glasses up. I put my eyes. All right, hand do this.
I nominate or recommend that we keep Jackie Bird as our, Jackie Jones as our president.
Okay.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you all. Vice President Linda Conley, does anyone want to be on the slate for Vice President? Any recommendations at this time?
I recommend Linda Conley continue her position as vice president.
I second the motion. Any opposed? All in favor? Aye. I'm sorry, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None? Okay. Congratulations, Linda, for vice. And now we're at secretary, and I'm making the recommendation for Sarah Jones.
Sarah's last name?
Jones. Sarah Jones.
I second that.
Any other, I gotta ask if any other.
Right.
Right, does anyone else want to be on the slate? Anyone? No, I know she can't. Anyone want a second? Did you second?
That we have Sarah Jones as our secretary.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, Sarah as secretary, and we do need a treasurer. Any nominations for treasurer? Would you? Yeah. You would like to be treasurer?
I can be treasurer.
Okay, I recommend Nyla.
Wait a minute, we gotta see if there are any.
Oh, any
Anybody
other?
I'm just putting my name out there.
That's okay.
Pushing her glasses up. I'm like, oh,
I've
really?
been treasurer before.
Okay.
Not on this commission, but other commissions.
Anyone else? Any recommendations for treasurer? Anyone want to make a?
Elect Nyla Williams as treasurer.
Okay.
And I second that.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Nyla. So our new 2025 officers is President Jacqueline Jones will retain her seat. Vice President Linda Conley will retain her seat. Secretary will be Sarah Jones, and Treasurer will be Nyla Williams. Thank you.
Okay. Now, congrats, everyone. Can I say something now before we leave this part?
Yes.
This commission is mandated to have someone from the NAACP,
Mm-hmm.
League of Women Voters,
Mm-hmm.
someone in education. Nyla is here for health, and I'm here for nonprofit. So the two of those are filled, but we don't have anybody from NAACP.
Yes.
Who do we have?
Kiana.
Kiana. Okay, yeah.
And then we're still
League of
waiting.
Women Voters.
We're still waiting on an appointment. I have reached out, but I haven't received a response. I will try to reach out again, and if I don't receive a response, I will contact the mayor's office and let them know.
Kiana's last name is
Edwards.
I think that's how it goes. Do you know if that's how it goes?
I don't know.
I think that's how it goes.
Yeah, I can ask.
Okay. So Daisy asked if that's how it goes as well, but I'm pretty certain that to reach out to them. I'll make another attempt to reach out to the League of Women Voters, and if I don't receive a response or get a response from them, then I'll contact the mayor's office and ask if she wants to appoint anyone.
Or take it to the council and change up whatever that.
That wasn't a council appointment. I think, was it?
It's not a council, it's a mayoral.
I think.
But if it's in the
But if it's in an ordinance,
change
that's
the
what I'm saying, you can
ordinance.
change the ordinance.
Okay.
And to remove, if we don't,
Okay.
hear back after timely fashion,
Okay.
that could be an opportunity, but that's something that we need to discuss, and what other group, would, take the place of that if it got to that point.
Okay.
Just thinking ahead. We haven't heard anything.
True. And you're correct. It's been a while. Okay. Thank you for that.
So what do we have for education?
Sarah Jones. Mhm. And it, because it's two not-for-profit appointees, because I know I'm one. And Your Health.
Yeah.
And it was another non-for-profit. I'll have to look on that list. And they're in the process of revising that website as well. A lot of them are being revised, so some revisions are being made. Feedback of International Women's Day and surveys. I have not read the surveys yet. So that's something that I have to get with Sarah about, because that's she created that on Google Doc. And thank you. I received some lessons regarding Google Doc, but I appreciate that. That's something that I can utilize, especially in the future. So I will do that, but I'm going to ask you all if we can table that as well, and maybe you all come back with a list and we can discuss it at the next meeting or whatnot. Feedback, what you all would like to see for the next one, what you think that didn't work, or maybe it can be removed, or whatever adjustments or whatnot. So I'm just going to ask if we have a month to think about the feedback. And again, if we just list our concerns or recommendations and things of that nature, and we'll come back and we'll present those lists and discuss them at that time.
Okay, so if we're gonna hold off, maybe to next month, can we not have a speaker for next month, so then we have time to digest everything,
Yes.
and maybe even discuss that. But with the speakers, it's just taking up a lot of time.
Okay.
So allow us to.
That's a good recommendation, though.
To discuss everything, and then maybe at that time, Sarah can either pull the results of the survey, and then we can see that and be able to kind of review that. Maybe she can even email that to us prior to the meeting.
Okay. Yeah, because I got some feedback. People just were there.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were like, "Oh, this is what," and they, make some critiques. I get some good.
Did y'all actually see the question? We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
With the question, well, yeah, we'll just discuss it. I think I'm just going to say this. Thank you all. I mean, it took some work and a lot of effort or whatnot, and I appreciate all of us coming together as a joint, a team, to kind of get this going and make it work. I think it was nice. It was some a little bit challenges, but I think that those things can be worked out, some kinks removed. So we got time to really discuss those things. But again, thank you all for your hard work. Again, and then I learned some things from it. It's always good when you're learning. And then how to improve, or what tools you could utilize, resources or whatnot. And thanks again, kudos to Daisy, because Daisy and Sarah, and everybody, kudos to everybody. But I'm just recognizing them too, because they did a lot, extensive work behind the scenes a little bit, especially with the Google Doc and the registrations and the QR code. That takes a lot. So appreciate you. And thank you. Thank you to great panelists. So I appreciate you all.
Questions. That's what I was
South Bend
asking, 'cause
News.
I said all the questions. I was just wanting your opinion. What y'all thought?
For your answers.
No.
Oh, the
Created
surveys.
survey
I didn't look.
questions.
Oh no.
I didn't know this survey.
Right.
Sorry.
Sarah did the survey.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about it later.
So I'll reach out to her. I'll put us all on the email together, so we can get the responses. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be good.
We'll come back to that.
I'm sure they were lovely though.
Yeah, I think you all did a good job. So you all would know. The News Dispatch was there. Did you all see that article?
I didn't see that.
It was an article in the paper. Yeah.
Sorry.
They had everybody's comments. Everybody that participated, and I thought that was nice. Everybody that participated, whether it was on the panel discussion, the speakers, they acknowledged them.
I think I saw a picture with the panel. I saw a picture of the panel.
Kevin took a lot of pictures. Yeah, not all in the paper, but I think that they did take a picture of the panel. Yeah. But Kevin captured a lot of pictures. Did you all see that on Facebook? Because they captured you too. They captured you.
Go downtown to get a paper.
It's $4.
That's what I'm saying. Your paper is expensive.
So you all would know too. Is it Channel 16 News? I don't know what happened, but yeah, they were supposed to. But yeah, I don't know. But I was like, cool. But I didn't see them there. So
Did you cut it out? You read the article from the paper?
I have it. I have the article. I will, and then I can see if I can get a couple of copies from the News Dispatch for everybody. Okay.
I don't need one.
Okay. All right.
I did not see it in the paper.
Okay. So I did. We did talk about gala, ideas of gala previously before the International Women's Day, but that had to be tabled too because we had to work on the not so much table, but we know that it's time for us to think about it and start working towards it. Equality for the fundraiser. And this is just a recommendation, just to put something out there to get us kind of geared a little bit. I like the recommendation that Nyla gave maybe a couple of months ago. If everybody, maybe I'll put, I think she sent it, but I'll resend it to everyone. Some gifts, some areas that they really like to work in or they excel in. If it's the QR code, if it's the registration, if it's the decor, if it's registration, different things of that nature, so we can develop the committee to work on it. It would be a fundraiser. That was we do need a fundraiser. And I was thinking the recommendation that I was going to make is in August, let me pull it up. August is Equality Day, Women's Equality Day. I want to say it's on the 26th, on a Tuesday. But prior to that Tuesday, maybe that Saturday, we can host the fundraiser in honor of Women's Equality Day. And that would probably be on the 23rd on a Saturday.
In August.
August, yes. Right. I did reach out to Blue Chip. And with Blue Chip, I thought about, we sat down and we talked and, she gave me some pricing and different things of that nature. So the venue would be waived because we would be having food there and pretty sure that it would match the amount. But she said anyway that she would waive the fee, since we're under the city, she's going to waive the fee for the room. Mm-hmm. She stated that we could probably host it in the Stardust where the mayor's ball was, depending on the attendees, if we want that whole room or she can make it where it's half the room or whatnot, but she can accommodate us. So she did put the date down in case we decide if that's where we want it. I thought, my thoughts was that if we're trying to have a fundraiser, we're trying to basically profit, so if we don't have to pay for the venue and the cost of depending if we're going to do it evening or maybe like a brunch or a lunch. My thoughts were instead of, and again, we're all in this together. We have a lot of galas coming up, like in October. A lot of balls are galas in October. The breast, Miss Allen's cancer awareness, which that's like a black tie affair or whatnot. We also have NAACP. Usually they do something, I believe, in October or November, and that's like a dressy affair. And I'm pretty sure some more evening, So I was thinking like more of a tea lunch or tea brunch or tea luncheon. That it doesn't really require a lot of gowns. It's something fun, entertaining. Maybe wear some fascinators. Someone can get a prize for the best hat or something like that. Again, that would be less expensive than the evening meals. Maybe some saxophonist there, since it's the Women's Equality Day, it's a lady saxophonist or something, unless you all have someone else as well. A DJ to make it a little fun, and an auction, silent auction. Maybe some nice gift baskets. Maybe combine it, for an example, not trying to take from United Way, where Miss Kate has the purses that they auction and put them in nice baskets. But maybe I've seen this and it went well. And I mean, a lot of people participated in that auction, where an event that I attended, say for an example, if Nyla went out and asked someone to sponsor a basket for her, and she went to a winery or something and got 2 nice bottles of wine to put in that basket, and then a gift certificate from Longhorn or something for $50 or $100 in that basket, and then the minimum amount that you could start off with for that particular basket. Say if that cost was like $250, $300 basket, then the minimum cost would be $75 to start off with the bid. So this is just an example, Say if Keisha went to someone, said, hey, I'm going to donate a purse to you from Coach, a brand new Coach purse. And so she takes in a basket, and then she's like, okay, I'm going to go to a local restaurant and they're going to donate me $100 gift certificate with that Coach purse. I'm just giving ideas, and then another bottle of wine in there, or, you have coffee. You have different places in here, and that would be some of the auction items. So I'm just giving some type of ideas, like a luncheon, maybe started off at 12. If it's going to be a luncheon, maybe started off from 12 to 4, something like that. If it's going to be a brunch, maybe 11 to 3 or something like that. It's still earlier in the day, but we can also do a black tie or a gala. It doesn't necessarily have to be a black tie, but it could be a dressy up type of event if you all want to do that, like more in the evening, So just wanted you all to think on those things.
Okay, so when you said Blue Chip is going to give you
the room for free. And for an example,
cost of the meal.
So if it depends on which one, because like if you do a luncheon or a brunch, it's going to be under 30, a lunch or a brunch. And it could be
to give you an itemized list of what a brunch or a lunch would
yes,
cost.
they did, but it depends on what you're going to have on there. So that's something that we would discuss.
Choose from that menu. That would be determine the cost.
Well, it will, but they said that they can make the revisions for us how we would want it. If we want some carving stations, depending on what you want.
Charge. But you got to know that because then you can determine the cost of the ticket.
Right. See, we haven't got to that part yet. Yeah. So an example, Miss Allen, say for an example, if we decided on a brunch and the most extensive or most expensive brunch, right, buffet or whatnot, if it was $30, then maybe we can sell the ticket for $60. And then that'll be a $30 profit. I'm just saying, giving an example. Yeah. But we'll get back to that. We can always discuss that later.
You see, you don't have a lot of time when you start talking about August.
Right.
This is almost May.
So I am going to send an email out. I will send an email out for the areas that everybody would like to work in, okay, or give their time in. And then I will also attach, I'll try to attach some copies of the menus and things like that. But we have to decide, first of all, if we want to do it at Blue Chip, because there's some other areas here too, like, what is it called? Uptown? Uptown, but I think that they cater to, right. But I'm just throwing it out there. I don't want you all thinking that it just has to be.
Options we would have, but it's always good whenever we're doing something like this to try to have at least 2 to 3 options. We can bring it to the board and commission, and then we can pick between them.
Because another place again
it could be it could be totally different, or it could be, more reasonable. And then I guess we really should think about what we're going to do, whether it's the brunch, the lunch, dinner, because that just would change so much, so we need to first decide on that, and then locations, could work around that. So
Did you all, while we're here today, would you all want to decide on if you want it as a gala type of theme, or luncheon, or tea luncheon, or
I'll go for luncheon.
a luncheon?
Yeah.
Something like maybe a tea, a theme or something, some type of theme. Would you all like a tea brunch for women, since it's going to be an equality, in honor of Equality Day?
We can talk about that. Not only gonna be women there, we want the men to come
To
too.
support us too.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's always gonna be some men coming in. Yeah. They want to be. They want to know what's going on.
When we had our women say from women,
We had men.
No, I said, was it some? No, I get that, and we want the men's support.
yeah.
But I was wondering if it was men at. I think was it some men at the international?
Oh
It was a
yeah.
couple.
There was a couple.
Yeah. Okay. We want their
we could talk
support.
about,
Yes.
but I agree with the daytime.
The luncheon.
I think a lunch would be nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think, Daisy? Luncheon.
Okay, then check other venues to see what they offer.
Okay.
And their menus, because the menu, even though they're giving you the room free, the menu is quite expensive in New Jersey. And that's just not because, it's just because it's expensive.
And then also we could look at too as well is to see. I know they're giving us the room free, but to see too if they would consider being a sponsor as well. So. Because we do have to reach out to some sponsors, okay? So we can table, I'm not going to say table, but we can discuss this later.
Before you
Right,
start doing this other stuff you gotta do.
okay. We can discuss that, we'll discuss that later. So I will send an email out to everybody, okay, regarding the areas. But please make sure you respond.
Right.
To what, you?
On the email.
Oh, the email.
I have to be on the lookout for it, because
On the email.
that's one thing I'm bad about. Emailing, looking at email.
Okay. Daisy, do you have any comments?
I just have an announcement for an event next weekend, Saturday, April 26th. It's the Earth Day extravaganza.
April.
26th. That's Earth Day? Yeah. Earth Day is the 22nd, but it's Earth Month extravaganza. I'm sorry. Saturday, April 26th at the Senior Center in Washington Park. From noon to 3. So the Michigan City Sustainability Commission is putting that on. It's the third or fourth year they've put that on. It's an awesome event. I'll have a table with my kids doing some microplastic and beach litter stuff. They give away free trees. They have guided hikes. They've got all sorts of arts and crafts and different vendors and nonprofits, and everybody who supports the earth will be there.
That's awesome.
It's free. It's Senior Center, yep.
You said it's free?
It's free, yep.
Okay.
It's from 12 to
Nancy said.
12 to 3, yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Anything, nothing else?
That's it.
Okay. Thank you.
It's almost.
No, it's only 6. Oh,
No,
It's almost 7.
Yeah, we did.
okay. Commissioners' comments.
I just have,
Nyla? Oh,
go ahead, Lynn.
Go ahead.
I just have one announcement. May 31st, next month,
Oh, wait a minute.
from 1 to 4 at Pullman Field,
1 to 4?
1 to 4 at Pullman Field,
Uh-huh.
is a summer kickoff event. And it's hosted by the New St. Rose OES, chapter 40, number 40. And it's for kids, for your kids.
Okay.
And they're going to be outside. They're going to have food, fun, and giveaways.
And this is May 31st, 1 to
May
4?
31st.
What time?
May 31st, 1 to 4 at Pullman Field.
Because you have one. Okay. You have anything else?
And also, May 2nd, the Michigan City Soul Steppers will be having their kiddie prom at Joy School. And that's going to be usually from I think 5 or 6 to 8. And it's from kindergartners to 6th grade. And that's always real nice. See little kids all
What
dressed
time you
up.
say that was?
I think the time is, I have to email you because I messed around and left my poster. But yeah, that's our kitty farm. That's all two things I have.
Thank you. Nyla?
Okay, real quick. I know it's getting late. I don't have any more flyers. They all put out, but just want to promote Zoom on and a young man. Move with the mayor. It is in partnership with the National Forum for Heart Disease and Stroke Prevention. So Francisca Health and the city are partnering to bring this to Michigan City. So it's basically physical activity along with health topics at every one of these dates. So May 3rd will kick off. That's the kickoff, so that'll be a big one. Got Pastor Gaston, the trainer. He's going to be working out with us on that day. We're talking about nutrition. That will be at Krieger Memorial Hall. All these dates, you show up at 10:30 to just sign in, register. It is free. And then around 11 o'clock, we will start the speaking of the doctor or the nurses, whoever's going to speak for that day. And then we'll work out for probably an hour or less. May 24th will be at Pullman Field. May 31st is at the Water Tower Park. The mayor wanted to do this in conjunction with the ribbon cutting that will be happening at the Water Tower Park. So they'll do the ribbon cutting. We'll have, this going on, right alongside it. So that's going to be a good day. And then the last one is June 14th will be at Michigan City Police Department in the back, outside. So we're with the mayor.
That's good.
Yay. Something new.
Are you doing that walk with the doc this year too?
No, this is kind of taking the place
of it. Really?
I wanted to switch it up.
So I take this, is this all on Saturdays, May 31st? Is it?
All Saturdays.
Is it May 31st on Saturday?
All Saturdays.
All
Yes.
Okay.
My calendar is crazy. But I didn't want to just do just one couple days. So me and the mayor sat down and we plugged down these dates.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's
come on
good.
out
It
and
sounds
support.
nice.
Work out with us.
Nice.
Move with the mayor.
And it starts May 3rd.
May 3rd, kickoff, Memorial Park.
Is there something going on with Barber Coalition?
Oh, tomorrow. Not tomorrow.
You want to announce that?
Yeah, Black Barbershop.
That's on the 19th.
April 19th, 9 to 3. 3 barbershops, Platinum Designs, Sharper's Image inside of Meyer, and In and Out Barbershop. That is a new shop. It is the old Marvelous Cuts location, but new owners, and they changed the name to In and Out, so that's where we'll be doing screenings.
Is that on the Franklin?
Yeah, it's in that plaza next to, is it Hobby Lobby?
Was that Mark?
Yeah, it was Mark's shop.
Somewhere around in there.
Yeah, I don't know what that
So it's a
was.
new one now?
Yeah, it's the same building. It's just changed names, owners. Yeah.
Oh,
But it was
by
Mark's
Hobby
shop, so
Lobby.
same.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where it is. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's for all kids. All kids, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes people
If
think
you-
that it's just minority, black kids, but it's for
But it's at the
all
barbershop,
kids.
it's for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's for males, right? Males, of course.
The focus is black males.
Mhm.
We are not going to turn anyone
Right,
away.
right.
So if a woman came in there, I don't care what race she was,
Right.
she wanted to get, we're going to screen her.
Mm-hmm.
And any other race of male. But since African American men have the highest mortality rate, those are the ones we focus on, and that is a part of this initiative. But I'm going to tell you that this is the last year for Indiana Black Barbershop.
Why?
And don't ask me why. Let that sit.
Oh, I know.
So,
Let that sit. In the state of Indiana, what's going on?
Yeah, we got so much that's going to be the end of
It
things.
may be the end of a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
So yeah, but it's not going to stop me though,
right.
because Like barbershop won't continue, but I will be doing some other stuff in the shops next year. So, and salons too. Yeah, so.
We used to do the breast exam in
Ain't
the
no stopping
beauty
us
shops.
now.
and the ladies came from oncology and showed them how to self-examine their breasts.
Mm-hmm.
And so you don't have to have national funds to do that. All you have to have is a beauty shop where women go to get their hair done, and somebody from oncology will come and show you how to use these 3 fingers and press and feel. That's all you have to do.
Hands is the best tool.
All that money because you got these 3 fingers.
Hands is the best tool. I'm going, y'all.
Any comments?
No more because I don't have the exact date for Dr. Ranson's prostate screening.
Okay.
It's on the rise here in Indiana and also sickle cell. And I've asked Dr. Motley to come and do a workshop on that. So we'll be getting a date from Dr. Yeah, sickle cell is up.
Okay. Keisha,
Sickle cell
I'm sorry. Keisha, do you have anything? Okay. And just before we end, just one quick one. Please, everyone, be aware of Juneteenth. It's a one-day event. I did hand out some vendor applications if anyone wants to set up for as a community resource, or someone that wants to set up as selling their products or whatnot. It's going to be awesome. A nice lineup, all-day event, especially for the youth. Free hot dogs, free hamburgers. Yes, you can. Okay, so you need free hot dogs, free hamburgers. It's going to be some for a certain period of time, and also until supplies last.
LaPorte County?
It's the city. The city is hosting it this year.
Right, okay.
If you do want to be a vendor, community resource, we're just asking that you complete the form. You can turn the form back into me, or you can take it down to the city hall to the events planning with Eric or Terry. Food trucks in the evening. It's going to be a nice band.
It's going to be
a play. Yes, a play,
And
outdoor
some
play.
music that's not
Music.
that's not
It's what?
that's not risky.
It's a nice band.
Okay, because
Very nice band.
Charles Westcott Park. That music was not appropriate for kids. Some of that stuff on there was the B word and that kind of stuff. You know?
Well, the city is hosting it this year, and it's going to be really nice. So a lot of opportunities for use as well. So,
and I'm going to tell you, when you come to my breast cancer event, bring some money because we're going to have quotes that are being auctioned off.
okay.
Last year we sold $550, $375, and $380 for the other 2.
Okay. And it is and I forgot to mention, and with Juneteenth is a free event as well. So asking everyone to come out. Oh, it's going to start at noon. Juneteenth is starting at noon.
October 4th, 8 to 5. Your stuff is.
We would take advantage of these things while we can.
My ball is at night. The ball is on the
You're talking about for
If it'd be the same
I'm
day.
trying to do September, the last September.
Okay. That's good working out.
Last Saturday.
Last Saturday, yeah.
So can someone motion that
I make a
we,
motion that the meeting be called to.
anyone second?
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Thank you all.